Hey, let me introduce myself. My name is Lasse Frederik Petersen. I'm an off-plan investment advisor here at House & House. I've been 14 years in this real estate business internationally, and this is my podcast. Welcome to Invest in Dubai. So it is my first episode, and I have brought in the A-team today. I have a dear colleague that I want to introduce to you called Andrew, and Andrew, welcome.
Thank you very much. Excited to be here.
No problem. Can you take it from here? A little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm the opposite to Lasse. So I've only been in Dubai and Dubai real estate for a few months now. So we've got an old and a new. And yeah, I'm very, very excited to be here. And I'm sure that all the information will be incredibly informative to all the people that are really, really interested in what Dubai has to offer.
Yeah, and I think for me it's very important just to give some kind of insights about being in Dubai, being a real estate agent in Dubai. Yeah. And when I saw you first time, is that a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago?
Yeah.
We, kind of have an energy I cannot explain, but we just bonded very fast.
Absolutely. It all started over working on a weekend. And you do have to go that extra mile, and that's how we first met. Was a Saturday. We were talking about the work ethic, paths, what you have to do, and we bonded from there. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. So please, and can you just? I think you have some kind of thing. When I saw it first time on your social media, you have this kind of, thing you always say. You have something being in football. So can you just give a little bit of information about who you are and why you moved to Dubai and is in real estate by House & House now?
Absolutely. So my sort of tagline is from stadiums to skyscrapers.
Okay.
And that was because I was a professional footballer. I was a little bit thinner then. Could probably jump a little bit higher as a professional for sort of Fulham, Accrington Crew.
Yeah.
And I got the name with the stadiums, and I thought, well, I'll incorporate that into the skyscrapers and the world of skyscrapers that is Dubai. And the reason why I came over here, to be perfectly honest with you, I had a change of circumstance in my personal life sort of last November, December, and I came on a golf holiday in May. I had one meeting with a very close personal friend who is also in real estate.
Yeah.
We'll have to get him on to get his tale of events.
Be happy to.
And I was sat at Dubai Creek Golf Club with a very close friend of mine, and after we had a meal outside there, we were sat there thinking, well, what are we doing? What's going on? And it really started to stem the thought of what is Dubai. And then we had a meal on the Saturday night out by the marina, and we both looked at each other and said, this is what life potentially has to offer. What are we doing? And I went back home and told my mum and dad 3 days later that I'm going to move to Dubai. I sold my house and took a huge risk. Came out here before it had even transferred, so I sold my house and I hadn't got the money from the house yet.
Wow!
And I started. I was like, no, I've just got to do it. So I took a massive risk, and thankfully the house is cleared and paid off since. But
wow,
I went straight for it in a matter of 4 or 5 days.
And I also think that I was in New York for 14 days ago, and I talked with a lot of real estate agents over there and say, hey, Lasse, have you seen this magnificent tower in Manhattan we're going to sell? What's going on in Dubai? And I said, guys, with all due respect, this is a magnificent tower that you are selling at the moment, but the numbers for us in Dubai is like New York for 250 years ago, and they are asking me, say, Lasse, what do you mean? Yeah, with all due respect, we have a 2040 urban master plan in Dubai.
Exactly.
We'll be the double of population in 2040. We have a D33 economic agenda that will double the economy in Dubai in 10 years. So guys, with all due respect, this is New York for 250 years ago. Can you also feeling that we're kind of making some kind of history, that we are part of a history kind of?
It's just so exciting, and I can't describe it because it's so cliche. Everyone says, when you go to Dubai, you'll understand. And considering I'm from Wigan and around Manchester, some nice areas, but when you come and you see the skyline and you see it, especially at night, and that's the one thing I always say to people: at night, it blows your socks off.
Yeah.
How anyone can get bored of that skyline? All that does is makes you think, what is the future going to hold? There's more people coming. There's more buildings going to go higher. There's more announcements of off-plan units coming up constantly. It's been probably one of the most stressful yet exciting 3 months of my life.
So just so I understand, when we talk about that you have been in real estate business, that is kind of new for you, is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's incredibly new. Yeah.
And when you are new in this business, with all due respect, and we talk about there will be some challenges. Can you kind of give me your top 3 of challenges that you have to face at the moment?
Well, the one that springs to mind first and foremost is getting stock of available homes that is good stock.
So when we talk about stocks, can you maybe give insight about what is your target in as an area and stuff?
So I specialize in villas in Dubai land. The main sector at the minute is Mira Oasis.
Nice.
And getting good value units within an established community like that is very, very difficult, because sometimes sellers will want more than a home is worth because of the market, and all they're hearing about the market is the price per square foot, the data that we send out, and every discussion is about Dubai and the height of its economic growth, and people want sometimes a figure that is unachievable, which is difficult when you're trying to represent buyers and sellers.
Yes.
Because you've got to make sure that the seller is maximising obviously the money that they want for the home, but it's also got to be done ethically, so that the home you're selling the buyer is one that isn't going to put him in jeopardy of a big crash, or the amount of information that we aim to give, so that a client can make an informed decision, is so important.
So what you're saying is that if you should kind of have the power of the market or the community that you're in, is about having the stocks. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. And when I look into the numbers in real estate in Dubai, I think after 12 months, I think 22% has success, and the 88% is not in the business after 12 months. I see it as a marathon. What is your considerations when we talk about also this statistic about it can be a little bit difficult to succeed in Dubai property?
Absolutely, and I can see why. Yes, there is a lot of bad sort of stigma, for real estate agents, but the truth is, the very, very good ones are very good for a reason, because they do a lot of work behind the scenes that people don't see. I've seen you countless times looking at research before you're about to, help a client. I never say advise too much, because it's not like we're telling them what to do. We're giving them the best market information for them to make an informed decision. And some agents don't do that. In fact, a lot of agents don't do that. So yes, there is over 60,000 agents in Dubai, but not all of them are necessarily good people. And they're the ones who I don't think will last, because they don't do the research.
And thank you for that. I definitely share your thoughts. So if we should kind of take, 2 or 3 things that you kind of will advise that will be a success for you. What is the 2 or 3 things which is really important for you to succeed in real estate in Dubai?
Well, first and foremost is making sure that you're keeping up to date with social media and marketing, as we are doing. And the main reason for that is so that people can actually see that we are people. It's not a voice on the phone, which is so relatable when people just think, oh, I've got another phone call, or what's happening here? Why is this person calling? Or where am I up to? The fact that we could show that we're real people who spend a lot of time to make sure we're knowledgeable about certain areas. That is certainly going to be something that differentiates an awful lot. And face-to-face meetings, a lot of people aren't wanting them. Now that might be because of the diary or planner of the seller or buyer, and it's difficult. But when people have a face-to-face meeting with us and they realise the opportunity that they have, then it makes things a lot easier.
But when I have these conversations before meetings, and luckily I have a lot of people showing up to the meetings, and as you said, is that also when I have this conversation on the telephone, is also about interesting for the people. What's behind this investment? Is that for Lisa who has to go to Oxford University? This passive property investment should give some money for that. And if you deep a little bit deeper with the client, I think also the rapport that you build with the client is more. They want to be aligned with you and come to the meeting, and it's about connection to do real estate. It's maybe the biggest investment in their lives.
Absolutely. And I think the point that you've actually just said, the 2 points I would just make is that, first of all, when I mentioned that stock is really difficult to come by, that is one of the challenges at the minute, because if you don't have homes to show people, and it is such a big investment, and it's such a personalised experience buying a home, people are going to be reluctant to purchase something if they've only viewed 2 or 3 houses. But the fact of the matter is, there might only be 2 or 3 houses actually available in the area they want. And it's in their natural psyche to think, how can I make a decision? I've only seen 2 or 3. What's going on? Is there not more to see? And the fact of the matter is the speed of the market at the minute, it makes it very, very difficult.
And we're really, really different compared to Europe, in my opinion.
We're very, very different, in terms of Europe. The whole economy of Dubai is completely different to the whole of Europe.
So when we talk about that, maybe go to, I think the next question I think is pretty, I'm curious about to hear your thoughts about that, is that, how do you kind of see the real estate market in the next 3, 5 and 10 years in Dubai?
I think it will only continue upwards for now.
Why?
I think the banks and the fact that the UAE is linked to the dollar, and I think that the fact that they've dropped the mortgage point system here in Dubai, which allows people to lend more money against the property without a change of circumstance, is only going to continue in one trajectory. But I do think that there is going to be a dip and possibly a large dip at some point as well within the next 3 years.
Okay.
And I think that is just because of the Sheikh's plan and the Sheikh's vision of 2040 to house and inhabit that many people. Something has to change, and when it's government backed, I think it will do. And when there is, I think it's 2026 to 2027, there's going to be 100,000 off-plan units launched, ready and available to keep up with that economic growth. That has to have an effect on the market. It's impossible for it not to. How much, we don't know, but...
So you think it's going a little bit down, or...?
Yeah, I think most definitely it'll have to. Just because Dubai has got such a vision, it might have to have a small dip before it can then regrow again. I don't necessarily like using the term bubble. I would say correction, and it's going to be maybe a temporary correction to inhabit all these people before we go again for the next phase of more people, more off-plan being built, more homes being sold, because the records being broken speak for themselves. Yeah. But, to house that many people, something has to change.
And where do you think we are in 10 years from now?
10 years,
regarding square foot prices and the market in general in Dubai?
I can honestly see that just being at an all-time high. And the only reason for that is not so much the price per square foot and what's going on. I think it's just the fact that many people will want to come to Dubai single-handedly. I think that, people look at their family, they look at emotion. We all know that people do purchase with emotion. They want safety, security.
And that is what Dubai is about.
That literally, in a nutshell. And when you look at your outside of work life, as I refer to it, I think it has to be the best in the world. Cleanliness, activities, the level of activities is phenomenal. So I can't see why more people wouldn't want to be here.
Understood. Yeah, and definitely also what I look into is that you talked about the 2040 Urban Master Plan. Today, I think we is around 3.77 million people. And from, I think for 15 years ago, we was 1.7. So with all due respect, in the next 15 to 16 years, it's just, the same history repeating.
It has to be.
That now there will be maybe in 2040, 7.8 million. So I'm a strong believer that the market is still going strong in the next couple of years. We have an economy D33 will be doubled in the next 10 years. And when I look at all the transactions in real estate in general in Dubai at the moment, I think 80% is pure cash. Yeah. There's no mortgage. So when I started in this business in 2009 and there was this subprime crisis where you have more value in loans compared to the house, that was a different story.
Yeah, it's spot on. I mean, Dubai's breaking records not just for stats like that, but for the level of, for example, villas that are going up now. Villas in Q3 broke a record 19% increase on villa community sales, and that's just because that is the best factor. People are going to bring their families. Apartments and off-plan will always be, probably for that until 2040, take up the biggest sector of the market. But the fact that villas is up 19% is the biggest indicator for me that people are wanting to bring families here. They're wanting to stay for a long time. They're wanting to have dogs. They're wanting to go to nursery.
But that is interesting because now we have been in real estate. I've been here for 1.5 years and you have been here for months. Yeah. What I have heard is that people from 3 or 4 years ago want to just, going to Dubai for 2 years, earn a lot of money, fill up their pockets with money and go back to UK or where they come from. Now you said something I think is very interesting. People want to be old, be here with the families and stuff. Can you just give a little bit explanation about what you're seeing normally living in Dubai?
Yeah, I mean, the figures and the stats from what I've been learning and adapting and evolving for real-time information for my clients is the fact that where I am based, for example, in Dubai land, the villa communities there, the popularity is increased tenfold, and that's because people are wanting to come away from mainland Dubai, potentially because of the prices. But what that is an indicator is the price isn't going to stop them. There will always be an overcome to that, and the overcome is just maybe a little bit of a longer commute, and there's more and more being built in and around those areas. And yeah, people are now, from what I can see, from when I speak to people and hear them with a passion, they're thinking about a 10-year plan. The 2-year plan's gone. It's a 10-year plan, and they're going to reassess and reevaluate where am I in 10 years. Okay, you might move back to the UK and you've had a phenomenal life, but I think people will stay for even longer because I can't see that many downsides. I really, really can't.
So the lifestyle is good.
The lifestyle's incredible.
If they should invest, clients, maybe it was better yesterday than today. So definitely there's something to go after in the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when we talk about the areas, if you should give you a top 3, and why these 3 areas is your favorite areas in Dubai?
So I'm currently living in Dubai Hills at the minute. So my first one would be Dubai Hills. I think it is a really established community that's beautiful. The street lights when you're driving home, the family feel that you get from your brain, your stomach, everything in there when you're driving around the infrastructure just makes you think home. It's stunning. You've got the convenience of the malls, you've got the convenience of the shops, and the location is fantastic in my opinion.
So maybe when we talk about these communities, maybe not everybody is aware about when we talk about a Dubai Hills community. By my opinion, also it's the best community maybe in Dubai for families. What does these communities have with schools? Can you kind of wrap up? What
absolutely.
What are they in a community in Dubai?
Well, the most important thing about it, and this is a strange comment to make, is it has a feeling that you can't describe to people until they go.
Okay.
And that feeling is how many children are playing in the street. How many children and families can you see by the community pools? And at the community pools, they've got ice cream vendors. They've got stores. They've got convenience. You've got deliveries. You've got ease of life with people to do your washing, your ironing your shirts, businesses around there to make your life so much easier. And again, when you do go there, there's space for the homes. Everyone's parked up. There's chatting. As I say, there's so much at Christmas. And all these festivals, they'll put so much around there to spread the different cultures. It's just beautiful. It's exciting. So
what I understand, where we can kind of finalize, a community in Dubai is that a community is kind of a country in the country.
100%.
So what I understand from Dubai Hills is that you have the hospitality. You have the schools. You have the mall where you can use a lot of money.
Absolutely.
So what you need as a family is in a walking distance in the community. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I mean, I think you've summed it up perfectly. It's a home within a home. It's a community within Dubai. It's a city or a town within its own place.
And now also, and with all due respect, when you talk about Dubai Hills, I smile a little bit because there's something in Dubai Hills that you love. You also have to be a little bit honest. What are we talking there?
Yeah, the golf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so my next answer, it comes on perfectly, is JGE, the estate. So I can't epitomise that feeling any more than just saying that when you drive through onto the grounds of JGE, I don't even feel like I'm in Dubai anymore. And I absolutely love that whole community and establishment. Yes, the clubhouse is further in. The trees and fields around and the community that you see with the villas, backing onto golf courses, golf course views. Obviously, loving golf as much as I do, that would be an absolute dream.
Thank you for the honesty.
Yeah, absolute honesty. It would be a sensation. And people have got custom buggies, for example, to drive around. They don't even use their own cars.
Correct.
And I don't think there's any other place in the world where you would just see very expensive, custom-built buggies for 4 to 8 people, driving around and flying about. It's just incredible.
And the last community?
The last community,
that's your favorites?
I'm going to have to say DIFC. I'm not too sure how good it would be living there for traffic or for tourists, but in terms of food and in terms of the views of being able to live around there.
So DIFC is the so-called, if we are in New York, it's the so-called Manhattan or Wall Street.
Yes, the Wall Street of Dubai,
But also I think I want to add something, I think it's quite important, is that when I was younger, I loved to see these Star Wars movies. And there's something going around now in Dubai, starting, I think, from DIFC also, that these taxis, what will happen in a year? Can you wrap that up?
We've heard flying taxis.
Exactly.
We've heard metros that are going to be 50, 60 foot in the air, faster trains. And
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. The government of Dubai, RTA, has signed with the company.
Yeah.
So there will be drone taxis Q1 2026, starting from DIFC and Pont du Maria. So,
I mean, I'm not too sure if I want to get in one straight away.
we need a driver.
Yeah, I need a driver. But, you know, going back to, it's such a great question because it goes back to, you know, the very first thing you've mentioned about this many people coming to Dubai and the 2040 vision.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason why I think this city and this amazing place will be different to the New York is because with futuristic ideas like that, how can it not be different to every other place in the world? No one has thought of what Dubai has thought of. It's unheard of, and the sky is the limit. It's as simple as that.
Amazing. And if you should try to, lastly, to wrap it up, and I think that we can compare being a real estate agent in Dubai. There's a lot of similarities regarding being an elite sportsman,
100%.
We have to put in the work. We talked about it earlier before this podcast. We are going up in the morning, going out as the first thing, go out to do gyms, walk, get some D vitamins and stuff. We have to put in the A game before going to house and house and do the job. Is that correct?
Absolutely. The similarities, especially, from a mental point of view, are incredibly similar. There's a lot of people online that, again, if you just type in Dubai real estate and you see the upward trajectory, everyone must just think that it's so easy, money's just coming, there is no downsides, there's no delays, and the world is perfect. And the fact of the matter is there's a lot more negative than positive, but it's how you deal with it mentally. And again, one of the things you very first asked me is, how real estate agents, and 20% of them are only lasting 2 years, but that's because it is so draining mentally. It's so tough, and it's a bit like having a bad game for your professional team. Your favourite player not being picked for your team on a Saturday. All the struggles that these professional athletes go through, whether it be the Olympics or whatever sport it is, mentally it's the same up and down. So
if you should wrap that up, we see a lot of, stuff of Instagram and stuff, and if you should try to, talk about this favorite kind of quote that you're living after, is there any kind of quote, something where we can wrap this podcast up with? Is there any good line that you can remember, or is there like a person you are following who's inspiring you to push and succeed in Dubai?
I mean, the most inspiring people, again, are elite athletes like, say Cristiano Ronaldo, Roger Federer, people like these. But if it had to be a saying, it would probably be from Jim Rohn, who I listen to, again, mentally in the morning an awful lot for his insights. And it would probably be that motivation is what gets you going, and habits are what keep you going. And it's so important. Amazing. Andrew, a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me in my podcast. Thank you. And guys, if you want to see more about my podcast, about my informations, please go to investdubai.realestate. I have my own homepage there. And there will also be in this tag my information about my Instagram accounts and stuff. Have a nice day. Ready to invest? Call me now.